The second law of thermodynamics states that as the universe moves from order to chaos, the level of entropy increases. Erwin Schrödinger's paradox of entropy and life states that living systems can increase their organization despite the second law of thermodynamics. This seeming defiance of the law is called negative entropy. Both pure order and chaos are omnidirectionally symmetrical. They lack form because of it. The formation of form is necessarily the breaking of symmetry, the breaking of monotony, and the creation of originality. Dennis Noble, biologist and physiologist, asserts that the entirety of an organism's structure and form is necessary for it to function, not just its DNA. Form brings life, and life begins beyond biology. This is, of course, not new. Hylozoism and animism are ancient beliefs. With economics connoisseur Nicholas Agath, I developed the idea of cogence, compelling the messages which matter communicates, to figure out rough layers of animacy. The more animate a being is, the more original the messages they communicate, through their form and all their senses, the various physical forces that surround and flow through them, and their creations. Creativity extends life past the creator. Good is a presence of life, and beauty is evidence of life. Our environment and what we value facilitates the creation of and maintenance of life through the embodiment of its creative principle. There is only one universe and one world we know with biological life, so what is most important is that stories continue. Our will, our pleasure, and our playfulness sustainably exercised and satisfied, making with our intuition, tuning our intuition to be in accordance with the forms of life. I'm gaining tactile experience with materials, life forms, cultivating objects which are sufficient evidence of life as to warrant apprehensiveness, yet drawing you into an interaction with them. I'm creating in the fourth dimension by performing ritual in a decentralized way. Inspired by Fluxus as a non-religion and improvised music. I'm beginning to learn to organize without rules, as described by Patricia Vera. I'm inspired by low-tech, vernacular, and indigenous design, in particular, the vernacular tools and peasant architecture of Romania. Designing the material outcome by tuning material by turning natural materials modular and adapting the design to work with unchanged natural forms, working with the tendencies of the material. For example, splitting wood. I'm building a temple to the natural instead of the supernatural. A temple that is decentralized, low, and wet.
Okay, so we've been through this daily routine. Questions? Comments? Anything?
Yes.
At the end of the project, is there going to be like an actual because you did the pendulums and the sort of items of dedicated, not prayer, but dedication. Is there going to be like a structure that houses all these separate attributes?
I want to make the different aspects of it modular to some extent, as like with the pendulums I have some repeating parts, and I want it to be decentralized. So I was inspired reading about Korean temple design. Probably it's not just their temples, but they mentioned that they tried to design them to extend beyond the, to make them extremely wide so that they extend beyond the horizons of your perception. And yeah, I don't know, I'm thinking that, especially with the pendulums having strings that I can pull halfway across the school, I can make things that definitely go beyond the limits of a single space or environment.
Back there, and then Bernina, and then Charlotte. Go ahead.
I love the use of entropy in the presentation, which is sort of like random explosions of sound and video that would come in sort of unexpectedly, and then go back to sort of these quiet moments. And there wasn't really a specific pattern to it. It felt very entropic. And as someone with an ADD brain that's constantly craving stimulation in order to feel focused, I never realized how much chaos and random occurrence can be used to create a sense of suspense that generates focus, which in turn creates order, and how order has the opposite effect, or in the case of my brain anyway, where too much order ends up creating chaos because of the lack of focus due to lack of stimulation. So I thought that was a very interesting application of entropy.
Bernina?
Nicholas, oh God. Thank you. I often feel like I don't understand what you're talking about, but I feel hold the point.
That's the one that you wanted to play. It can go in the background.
Yeah, to that note, I love your weirdness, and I think this is what we need in design and all the spaces that you're in. I appreciate that. Keep going. Disrupt us.
Charlotte?
I know. If I dare. I'm so excited and thrilled by everything that is happening right now. I'm curious to what extent you're interested in thinking about designing with like a mind around interdependence and interspecies design. Framing this as these like temples for nature, which sort of then, as we often do as people, separates us as humans from nature. And like, to what extent are you considering or interested maybe in like where other species become a part of the design, take over the design, add to the chaos,
Yeah.
etc.?
Yeah, it's very interesting to me to like those notions of trying to integrate biology or getting other beings to co-participate in the creation of it, which I've just started a little bit with my swamp to like see what like things in my swamp will do over time. But yeah, for sure. I don't know. Obviously I'm a person making something, and I think that following our intuition is already getting much closer to working with nature. But I agree that taking the next step is to actually have other beings participate in it.
You go first.
I've always admired your brain, and I do not understand it at all, but that's what's so interesting and fun to observe and participate with. And then I appreciate that you are considering other biology participating in this, but are you also interested in other people, like bringing community into this to co-create with you, or?
Yeah, I mean, with the pendulums especially, after they're set up, other people can activate them. I don't know, I honestly haven't had too much success with this, but in my learning to, play a little bit of improvised music, the person who runs Jam Club, Christian, is able to get people together, playing music together very effectively. so I'd be interested in learning, like, how I can make a setup that better facilitates, you know, people getting together and just, you know, celebrating their liveliness together.
I think what you're doing has a lot of opportunity for people to just come in and have fun and enjoy this randomness, chaos. It would be a really cool experience to have many people do this together.
Nick, my voice again. Yeah, thank you for your presentation. I guess that one thing that we discussed is when we talk about ontologies, and we talk about, you know, trying to understand what design is, what the world is, what is worlding, and we start building all these, you know, theories and things like that. We forget that, like, those relationships that we already have and we build with the more than human, with ourselves, with other people. And I love how you dare to explore things as they come. So they are always like a scaffolding and unfolding, and then it's you are here, and then it's about space, it's about, you know, your experience, all the travel that you did as well. And how we talk about monks and religion and things like that. And when I think that your project is about reality, about what is to be human, right? And how we are actually being here in this world. And going back to nature and going back to those relations that we, like I said before, forget many times. So I look forward to, so they will, you will have wonderful mentors next semester. I will be around. I just look forward to what you're gonna be doing next. Thank you.
Okay, I think I have just one thing that stuck out too. I just want to pick up on the last bit of sentiment, which is kind of exploring kinship and relationship in the context of kind of entropy and balance with order. One thing that I think is so interesting, I think of Fluxus as a kind of a moment of inspiration, or a movement of inspiration, perhaps something to practice together. One thing that I think is really important is, and what we all experience, and what is perhaps the thought-provoking aspect of what the thoughts we'll take home tonight and return with tomorrow is really the kind of powerful images that you've put together for us to see. And I would just encourage you to also think along the lines of developing those relationships and kinships, but also think about how quickly you can share these visualizations, those films, those juxtapositions, those tensions, you know, with us, and what medium might work really well. That's what I just want to put out. Any other comments, thoughts?
Anybody else?
Okay. So we pick up tomorrow.